Well, happy Wednesday. Took 2 trades today. We're going to go and recap those. These were done on my live stream, which happens on my main channel, Trades by Matt, every morning at market open. Both the trades today executed. I was patient for, executed just like I wanted, and they were both almost no drawdown trades, right to target, which is what I love to do and be patient for. So, yeah, we're going to go and recap those. These were done on my 20 Apex funded PA accounts, the 50K PA accounts. So, yeah, let's get into it. Yo, good morning. Welcome, everybody. Happy Wednesday. It's hump day. Looks like we're getting some movement pre-market, huh? We had CPI come out. Yeah, CPI came out today. It basically hit on everything. I don't know why we're moving so much, but it hit on everything. Tomorrow we got PPI coming out. Other than CPI, we have crude oil inventories at 9:30, so in 1 hour if you're a crude oil trader, and then we got 10-year notes at noon. That's the news for the session. We're opening up at the overnight highs here. Also yesterday's value area high, so interesting spot here at the 580s. If we make the rotation lower, we got yesterday's close and the overnight lows at the exact same spot. I ripped all night. Never really swept anything too crazy. I'm pushing out nicely currently. If we get a nice slap, you know, like a 100-point slap or whatever, we'll be back down into yesterday's point of control and VWAP. I'm gonna go ahead and say that would be an interesting spot to me if we do get a 100-point slap off the open. Other thing to consider though is that if we do get the 100-point slap off the open and we do rotate, you know, 480, 475 or whatever for yesterday's point of control and VWAP, watching the rotation through 450 I think does make sense, or to keep an eye on it. It does make sense because of retracing all of CPI news. So it's on the table. Could just be an absolute ripper of a day, you know, no pullbacks. It's definitely on the table as well, so we'll just kind of see what's happening. But that's the rundown. It was pretty quick today. Markets go up and we wait for pullbacks, right? I guess the last thing I'll say is popping yesterday's high is pretty important. So at 600, if we can get through 600, I think that's a very good thing for uppies. So, you know, 20 points from 580 to call it 620s, right? Get above 620s. It's looking pretty good for some continuation to the 680s and higher. Fails to run 600 and, you know, you start getting that slap, then, you know, 480 rotation that we talked about a second ago. Makes a lot of sense. As always, be smart, be patient, chat. Wait for those setups to come to you. When you see your setup, take it. Make sure your risk is in play. Get in, get out. Have those base hits, and let's have a good session. Nice rotation of 620, 80 to 20 off the open. Rotating off of it. I like the rotation here. I think waiting the first 15 minutes makes a lot of sense today. I always wait the first 15 minutes, but I think on a day like today, it just makes a lot of sense. Like quick open sweep, continue to pull back. I don't know. I just really want to see a pullback. Retrace a little bit of that move. I think just makes a lot of sense, but we'll see. I mean, if we hold 600, we might just push it, but I think rotating 620 makes a lot of sense, so we'll see. Sorry, I've already mentioned. Did you hear that Ivy's joining tonight's cash game with Rips? I didn't know he was playing again. 3 nights in a row? Oh, wow, we got a wick test. I don't think we're gonna get that wick test, to be honest. That's cool. I don't know who Ivy is. Or like actual Ivy? Like Phil Ivy? Is that who you're talking about? That's actually so cool. If you were like really into the poker scene, that would be like a very cool experience. That's gonna be a very cool experience for Rips, I would think, if he can keep his money or take some of Phil's money. That would be super cool. Imagine winning an all-in against Phil. What a cool like little micro claim to fame. Not really micro. That's actually just a straight up badass claim to fame, honestly. Like I won an all-in pot against Phil on a bluff or something, you know. I won a 2-7 against Phil on an all-in. That's actually very, very cool. I watched last night as well. I've been enjoying watching him play. It's fun. It's cool to have like an acquaintance that's like kind of grinding big cash games. 80's coming up, 700 block up there as well. This is very much feeling like one of those sessions where it just runs and like I just watch it because there's no pullbacks. I mean, it's clean. We're 100 points on the move so far, and it's basically been 100 points straight up. We got new all-time highs at 700 where that block is. I imagine that we run new highs on the day. New all-time highs on the session today. We'll see. We got potentially some volume getting built up here right around 80. Maybe a new point of control coming up soon. I don't know. But geez. The hard part is, are we going to get more than like a 10-point pullback? That's where the pullbacks on a session like this can get really challenging as well, because you'll have like there's been plenty of times where you get one red candle, a single red candle, and then it just pumps into infinity off of it. Like a 10-point reversal candle, and then we just send it. And that's tough. Serious question. How are your biggest trader inspirations as a trade the pullbacks, guys? That nice, do you think? Like, what makes me want to trade the pullbacks? Getting wrecked, shorting all-time highs. So many times I used to be the try and fade the move guy, and I still suffer from it every now and then. I'll be the first to admit it. I still suffer from it every now and then, but bro, you get wrecked enough trying to like fade moves that just have so much juice, especially on the long side. You just stop trying to do it. You understand and you realize this sucks. Why do I do this to myself? Instead, it's better to just wait. Then you have a round in the chamber. You're ready to go. You're not getting death by 1,000 cuts trying to short every new micro high. But honestly, most people will try to until they get wrecked enough, and then they actually see their data or they experience the pain enough. Most people will still try and short highs until that happens. And for the unfortunate people, it works 2 or 3 times. That's the super unfortunate thing, is if you actually do short the highs and it actually does work 1 or 2 times, that's trouble. Couldn't roll the block. Prior wick at 80 might be the play. Typically would probably wait for 70. And even then, it's tough to buy because it's like, who's to say we don't just free fall off of it, right? Sweep it a little more. It's technically a cheap trade. I'm going to take it. Give myself 8 points or so. It's an aggressive trade. Leave it at that. It's definitely aggressive. But on a day like today where we're just not really getting much, I'm going to take it. Give it a shot. I'll either risk 8 points or I'll get filled out. I'm going to go ahead and move that break even just because of the risk on the sell side. If we do slap, it's going to slap hard at that point. Almost got filled. Not quite. Missed it by 2 points. Classic. Missed it by a tick. Maybe. Missed it by 3 ticks. There we go. Fully filled. It's a 10-point base hit there. We did get volume flipping at 80 as well. Off of my entry. We got volume flipping as well. Happy with that trade. Worked out well. It's really, honestly, it's a challenging trade for me to take. It's challenging for me to take it. I tried to talk through why it was challenging. It's just like a 20-point pullback, or maybe you get close to 30 points off the highs after a 120-point move. Is just not that much, but it's a tough trade to take for me. Glad I took it. Risk was good for the most part. Could have potentially grabbed it. I think the best entry possible was actually the bottom tick, which is the prior open. And I talk about that trade pretty often. Like the prior open retest of the 5-minute candle is usually a decent spot to get in on that type of thing. And I essentially let it trade the prior open and catch a bid off of it. And that's where I got in. I marketed in, ended up filling at 73. And then I just had to stop below the prior wick. Because if we come back down into the prior open and we end up sweeping that, I think it has the potential to get aggressive, right? Like obviously you hope we hold 50, but the rotation down into 40 or lower is very much on the table if we sweep that 66 block. So I was risking like 7-8 points. But I was going with the trend, buying a pullback on obviously like it should be very apparent this is a strong day so far. So I just bought the pullback that makes sense to buy and let it go. Looks like we keep ripping off of it. I mean, I imagine we sweep new highs here or get damn close to it. But I got off at 84 or something. Happy with the exit too. I'm happy with the base hit there. Not trying to get 20 points like I was yesterday. Oh, it's lit. My bad. All right, December 11th, Wednesday. This month is going by so fast. Okay. December 11th, Wednesday. The dad joke. I love my furniture. My recliner and I go way back. That's top tier dad joke, honestly. That's top tier. Every old school dad's got their favorite recliner or favorite chair. I mean, honestly, the exact same trade I took last time is somewhat interesting again. Again, I think is somewhat on the table. It's the last little bit of volume, right? We snap it, we most likely have a nice little pullback. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but I like the idea of us sweeping liquidity, coming through, sweeping liquidity one more time, running it by a few points, filling me, and running back up to the 80s. That would be that'd be nice. But this kind of looks like doji bouncing off volume. I don't know. We'll see if we bid it or not. How much did I miss that fill by? I think that was very close. I'm gonna take that off. I thought I put it right on the money. Maybe I was a tick or something slow. So I should have just marketed in. Thought I was very close there. It's a full 10 points. Or close to it, maybe a point or two off. That's okay. It's a good look for sure. Should have just marketed in. I tried to get a limit in there. I think I just barely missed it by a few ticks, if anything. Instant 10 pointer. I'm gonna keep this order up. I think I got the potential to get filled out. See if the red line algo holds it or not. Oh god. Dang, the red line algo, bro. To the tick? For real? Did y'all see the guy on Wall Street Bets that has $1 million in capital gain losses? Or not really capital gain losses. He's got $1 million in losses, and he's looking to marry someone that's got $1 million in capital gains so that they can split the savings. Bro says, I'm proposing keeping 40 cents for every dollar of capital losses I provide for myself and offering you the remainder. Five head? Yeah. Oh, that's good. I think it runs without me. I was waiting for a doji. And then looking at the 50% off of it. Maybe I get filled here still. Should probably keep this a little bit more open, to be honest. gonna go ahead and move that break even. Perfect. Perfect. Ended up being able to execute that without hardly any drawdown. I don't know how much I took there. I was like a point maybe 77. Yeah, I took a point and a half of drawdown for a 10-point winner there. That's exactly how I wanted to execute that. Nice. And I waited a long time for that because even right around here, I was talking about waiting for the low 70s, and then we push all the way up, and then I have to wait for like a 50-point rotation down for the low 70s again. So I waited a long time for that, but it worked, and I'm happy I waited. I mean, grabbing my 10-pointer trade on a point and a half drawdown is very nice, and we're pushing really nicely out of it too. But that's that point of control retest I was talking about. Like, I feel like we at least see that. It's just more than I need right now. I'm gonna call it there, chat. It's 10 o'clock. I just got my 2 base hits. I'm gonna see what else the rest of the session brings. I'm not hating this movement by any means. It's just really like, you can just, to me, this is the type of movement that you kind of need to be distracted at. If that makes sense. Like, you almost need to be doing something else, and just wait for the levels that you actually care about and see how they react there, which is kind of what I just did. So I'm gonna go and call it there though, for sure. I don't know if I'll find anything else. I'm not planning on it, but if I do, I'll take it. But yeah, I'm planning on just probably locking it in there. 2 good days in a row. I'm happy with it. Good base hits, good trades. Hardly any drawdown on both of those. So overall, very happy with the execution today.